Good morning, everyone. This is Judith A. Cope. You're listening to Mad Love. Let's get into it. So yesterday I had to take care of some probate court business. Apparently, the first firm I hired decided to take my money, and for 3 weeks they didn't do anything. If I hadn't called to check and see if there was any progress, uh, they'd still be doing nothing. So I got to work on getting my money back from them. So I had to wake up and I realized, like, oh, these people aren't doing anything. Fire them and hire another firm. So that's what I was doing most of yesterday. I have to say I'm feeling better. Feeling a lot better. I'm telling you, I don't understand, and I'm not criticizing people. If you have a chronic illness, you have a chronic illness. But I remember when I was in the hospital before, when I was fairly sick about 15 years ago, I realized that there are people who just like being sick. They just do because it gives you an excuse. You don't have to live your life. Well, did you go to this thing? No, I was sick. Did you do this? No, I was sick. Did you? I know, I've been sick. And I hated it. I hated now, like being curled up in a ball most of the spring and summer, with some real serious stomach issues. But like I told you, I figured out what it was. And so this is my third week of really attacking it. And, I'm seeing progress. I feel much better. Changed my supplements. And, it's just one of those things. It's something I've grappled with my whole life, and I'll probably, have to continue to. But what I'm going to do this time differently is I'm not going to stop. Usually when I feel better, I just stop doing all the things that made me feel better, but I'm not going to do that. This is obviously something that I have to be mindful of for forever. So that's what I'm going to do. But it was a lot of misery, a lot of agony. And it's just part of healing. And, I had a pretty intensive, like, I don't know what that was yesterday, but my hairstylist was watching me and she was so concerned, and I was like, I get it, but I can't tell you how much better I actually am. Like, you're witnessing a moment in that I wasn't experiencing at all today. I didn't have any pain yesterday until that moment. And that is such progress compared to what it's been like. Your body is a very delicate system. It's strong, it's resilient, but it's also very delicate. In these processes, it doesn't take much to throw them off. And you have to really, really focus. I've been saying all summer, like, I just miss the days where you could just eat food and, like, no surprises, no pain, no issues. I'm getting back to that, but it took a long time. And you just gotta take care of your health. It's got to be. If you're not well, to me, the number one thing you have to focus on is getting well. Period. That just has to be it. Otherwise, you're putting the cart before the horse. Being well is a job. It just is. So anyway, enough of that. The probate thing is expensive. I cannot stress enough. If you have anything that needs to have a beneficiary listed, please list them, because you're going to be asking people to pay thousands of dollars. Sometimes you're going to have to pay $5,000 to get access to $10,000 when you could have just put a signature there. I mean, Missouri, of course, they make it very challenging. You have to hire an attorney. You can't even begin this process with these banks or any of these accounts without an attorney and being appointed by the court to be the person to administrate all this stuff, even with a will. So I naively thought, oh, if you have a will, then you don't have to worry about going to probate. But that was naive. In Missouri, you definitely, even with a will have to go to probate if things aren't in a trust or designated specifically to a person. And that's just the way it is. And the good news is, if you don't have a will, then that allows the court to decide. So make sure you have that will, even though it seems kind of useless. Once you realize you're still going to have to go to probate, but it does help because that means the person and their last wishes were being honored for sure. But it's very detailed. It's very hardcore. It's not what you want, and you can put on the titles of your car, transfer on death. You can put on your account, beneficiary information. All of that is going to be super crucial and helpful, because when a person dies, that's just the end of their body on earth, not their business. And it's a lot. It is a lot. This is like a job. You gotta have time to do all of this. You gotta figure out how to, if they own property, that's another pain in the neck. I mean, it is a lot. It is a lot. And I don't think anybody is really prepared, because we don't talk about these things, especially in the Black community. If you bring up money in the Black community, they say all kinds of stuff. Oh, you just trying to hasten my death. Oh, you just want this. Oh, you just greedy. And it's not that at all. Nobody wants to be doing all of this. I have another friend whose mom died probably within the last 6 months, and she's going through her house and cleaning all her stuff out. And, she has to leave work, go do all of this. Her mom died, I think, without a will. And so she's like, well, I need to figure out how to do a quitclaim deed. I was like, yeah, you should have done that while she was alive, though. You can't do that after she passes. And I think you have all these plans, but I'm not sure they're going to go through. Because in the eyes of Missouri law, she's still the owner of the home, and this is an unresolved issue. So I'm telling you, this is not what you want. And I get people don't want to talk about it, but you're going to have to make them, because otherwise you are in for months and years of agony after they die, because you got to do all this work just to get back to some sort of baseline and to wrap up their affairs. And you wind up opening an estate, and you have to do that in order to settle the affairs, so you have to pay an attorney. I mean, it feels like a scam, and it probably is, but it's a lot of work. I know that. So just, if you love somebody, please go ahead and do all your paperwork properly. Whew. Anyway, Lindsey Graham's sister is going to take his place in the Senate. That makes zero sense. I don't even understand how that is going to fly, but that's what Trump wanted. So I guess that means she's going to say yes to everything. And, people have proven that Mitch McConnell's proof of life photo is fake. I don't think the man is alive. I really don't. And I think it's criminal what they're doing to cover it up. I also wonder about the circumstances of Lindsey Graham's death, because, I'm not sure what they're saying is accurate, and there's too many coincidences. Wherever this drone place he was speaking at got bombed the next day. It's just a lot of stuff going on, and you can't trust the media to tell us the truth. You can't trust the politicians to tell us the truth. So you gotta just use your discernment and try to figure out on your own what sounds right and what doesn't sound right. Because this is a lot. We are in a very, very interesting time frame. Trump has now renewed his fighting with Iran, which is obvious we can't beat them. Not the way they would want to. You can't just, strong arm Iran. They're not really they're not like any other country we've tried this with. So that's going to be very interesting. And, I was just reading an article where some Ohio voters have buyer's remorse with Trump. And it's like, why would you believe him in the first place? There's nothing honest about him at all. So to believe and trust in anything he's saying, it didn't make sense to me ever. Not in 2016 and not now. And I'm pretty sure if somebody had the real guts to look at the elections, we would see the tampering and, all the stuff that Elon Musk was worried about. If they ever look into this election, I'm going to prison. Yeah, that tells you right there. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Accountability is not a thing right now. And it seems like everybody in this Justice Department is pretty corrupt. Everybody in this government is pretty corrupt. So it should be very interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a crystal ball, but I have a feeling it's going to get very, very interesting. Because it is time for a reckoning. Yeah, I think so. So that's what's going on with me. I got a ton of paperwork to fill out, so I'm not going to be on here too long. Actually, if they don't get started until I finish all this paperwork, which is crazy. All right, take care of yourselves. Enjoy this Wednesday, July 15th. We're already halfway through July. Let's go be great. See ya.